Madhava Kunja Bihari Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Radha Madhava Kunja Gopigana Ballabha Givaradhari Gopigana Ballabha Gopigana Ballabha Givaradhari Gopigana Ballabha Givaradhari Yashodanandana Brajavaranjana Yashodanandana Brajavaranjana Yashodanandana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Madhava Kunja Vihari Jaya Madhava Kunja Vihari Jaya Madhava Kunja Vihari Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Hare Krishna Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Narayana Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudiraye Today we are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 2, chapter 10, verse number 1. Divisions of the creation. Viduro vacha antarhite bhagavati brahmaloka pitamaha praja sasarja katidha dahikir manasir vibhu antarhite bhagavati brahmaloka pitamaha praja sasarja katidha dahikir manasir vibhu अंतर्हिते भगवती ब्रह्मलोक पितामह प्रजा ससर्ज कतिधा सही पीर मानसीर विभु गुरुवाच अंतर्हिते भगवती ब्रह्मलोक पितामह प्रजा ससर्ज कतिधा सही पीर मानसीर विभु Virovacha Sarite Bhagavati Amaloka Pitama Raja Sasraja Patida Sarite Manasi Viru Virovacha Sarite Bhagavati Amaloka Pitama Raja Sasraja Patida Sarite Manasi Viru. Word by word translation by His Divine Grace Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Vidura Uvacha, the Vidura said, Antarhite, after the disappearance, Bhagavati, of the personality of Godhead, Brahma, the first created living being, Lokapitamaha, the grandfather of all planetary inhabitants, Praja, generations, Prasarja, created, Katira, how many? Daihiki, from his body, Manasi, from his mind, Vibhu, the great. Translation Sri Vidura said, O great sage, please let me know how Brahma, the grandfather of the planetary inhabitants, created the bodies of the living entities from his own body and mind after the disappearance of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Sri Vidura said, O great sage, please let me know how Brahma, the grandfather of the planetary inhabitants, created the bodies of the living entities from his own body and mind after the disappearance of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The new chapter is starting divisions of the creation. How much creations are there, how it is divided. Two things we're going to discuss. The today's verse focuses on questions my ceremony. How the grandfather of the planetary inhabitants and grandfather, same way, ultimate father and grandfather is considered like some grandfather of the planetary inhabitants, various living entities, how their bodies came into existence. It is a wonderful thing how living beings come into existence. So many populations, living beings everywhere. How they started, who is the first one, what is their descendant to, how they are into existence today. So it's a very interesting subject matter. Here, the Vidura explains how the grandfather of all planetary system, how he created the bodies of the living beings, various living entities, how he created their body. We all have material body. This body comes from father and mother, but father and mother are not the creator. Brahma is the creator. Brahma started the first living being. So how he created them, hmm, and how their body come into existence is inquired over here. And he also created from his mind, like before none of Kumaras were created from his mind. So how the four Kumaras, so how mind Brahma created many different bodies from his mind is also inquired. After the disappearance of the percentage Godhead, after Brahma had a vision of Supreme Lord and he asked many questions, he prayed to Lord Brahma, to the Supreme Lord. After that, the Lord Supreme Lord himself uh, blessed with Brahma with various like spiritual topics we have just discussed yesterday. So after giving instructions to Brahma, the Lord disappeared from his vision. So how the Brahman started the progeny in this natural world is what is the great subject matter now. So therefore the divisions of the creation will be explained in more detail with the text number 2. एष मे भगवान् पृष्ठ त्वय्यथा बहुवित्तम तान् वरस्वानुपूर्वेण सिन्धिना सर्वसंशयन्. Translation. O greatly learned one, kindly eradicate all my doubts and let me know of all that I have inquired from you, from the beginning to the end. We all have doubt in various subject matter. Doubts are because of ignorance of the subject of knowledge, object of knowledge. So that's why doubt arises. So here he says, please eradicate all my doubts. If we can eradicate all our doubts, we will be pure devotee of the Lord. So here Vidura asked the Maitreya Muni to kindly eradicate all his doubts, and also to know all that I have inquired from you from the beginning to the end. So what he asked is like from the beginning to the end, whatever question he has asked, tell me in detail whatever I have asked. He has asked how Brahma has created living being from his own body and from his own mind. So that question he put forward. Then here he asked, he inquired and asked the explanation from the beginning to the end. Purport. Vidura asked all relevant questions of Maitreya because he knew well that Maitreya was the right person to reply to all the points of his inquiry. So Vidura asked the very question. Asking question when you are not uh, when you are not free of doubt is a way to understand the question subject matter. So Maitreya knows very well what Vidura wants to know. So that's why asking a relevant question, just like Parikshit Maharaj asked relevant questions to Sukadev Goswami, and Sukadev Goswami answered all of the questions. The same way here, Vidura asked the Maitreya Muni a very relevant question because Maitreya knew very well what is the right explanation. So unless we have many questions, spiritual progress does not start. Asking questions is the main first inquiry that our uh, progress starts. If we don't ask questions, then we don't understand the thing. So that's why he's asking and asking to eradicate all his doubts and also whatever he asked from the beginning to the end. He wants the answer. One must be confident about the qualifications of his teacher. Just choosing a guru without the proper qualification is not proper thing. Guru should be chosen so that he can ask the right question and give the proper answer at the right time. Srila Prabhupada always he answered the questions whenever somebody put forward the question. So this is how the doubts of the heart are eradicated. That asking questions submissively from the spiritual master or superior are the ways to know the actual answer of the life problem. So, but he has to be the qualification for the disciple is he has to be confident on asking questions that the person who he is asking is able to answer it. Uh, Without proper qualification of the spiritual teacher, if you ask what question, then he cannot answer them. So that's why asking a question, proper question, is a way of understanding and knowing from teachers. One should not approach a layman for replies to specific spiritual inquiries. Just asking an ordinary person a spiritual question is a waste of time. If you ask a layman about the spiritual topics, he doesn't know anything. He cannot speak anything on that subject. So such inquiries is waste of time and energy because the layman who doesn't know what the spiritual topics are. So that's why you have to have a guru who knows the knowledge of the world and knowledge of the universe. But you have to choose a proper bona fide spiritual master. What is bona fide spiritual master? A authorized spiritual master is what is needed. So a authorized spiritual master who can uh, reply the questions properly is what is uh, the way to inquire some questions. Such inquiries, when replied to with imaginative answers by the teacher, are a program for wasting time. So that's what he explains. Like if we inquire a layman who doesn't know the spiritual topic, then what happens? The reply he will give is all imaginary. They are not based on actual facts. So such an imaginary answer has no time, no effect, and it is just simply a waste of time. Wasting your time asking various questions to the man who doesn't know the answers. So that's what hmm, the reply is. Reply will not come as expected. It will be more like imaginary. You will imagine something and that you will explain. That the imaginative knowledge has no meaning. So in this verse, mostly eradicate the doubt. To eradicate the doubt, he asks, and let me know of all that I have inquired from you. Whatever inquiries I have made, please answer it in detail. That's what Vidura is saying. So my Muni will explain more detailed knowledge of how the divisions of the creation take place. Text number 3, Sutta Uvacha, Evam Santodita Stena Chatra Kausarabir Muni Prita Pratyahatan Prasnan Hridisthana Thavargava. Sutta Goswami said, O son of Bhrigu, the great sage Maitreya Muni, thus hearing from Vidura, felt very much enlightened. Everything was in his heart, and thus he began to reply to the questions one after another. So here also we see how when the proper question was put forward and then the teacher knows the answers properly, so that's why Maitreya Muni uh, felt very much enlivened. It gave a new life to him because he can explain the questions properly and very detailedly. So that's why he felt very enlivened. he got a new life. Everything was in his heart. So all the questions that were put forward were all in his heart. Means Maitreya Muni is well conversant on this spiritual topic. He knows very well the topic of Srimad Bhagavatam. So that's why he felt very much satisfied and enlivened. And because of this, he began to reply the questions one after another. So because the Vidura asked, please tell from beginning to the end without leaving anything, so Maitreya Muni is replying the answers from very beginning to the all the way to the end in a detailed understanding. Very much enlivened is like when he put when somebody is very enthusiastic about the answer. If you know something that you like to explain, if somebody puts question, it is a new life to it gives the enthusiasm to the person who is speaking. But if the question is put forward that the person doesn't know, then that does not give a new life. Purport. The phrase Sruta Uvacha, Sruta Goswami said, appears to indicate a break in the discourse between Maharaj Pariksit and Sukadev Goswami. So here we were talking about Vidura and Maitreya Muni, and now comes the word Sruta Uvacha. Sutta Goswami. Goswami is the son of Romaharsan Sutta. So, Romaharsan son is Sutta Goswami, and Sutta Goswami is explaining it to rishis in Danda, Naimisaranya place. So, uh, Sutta Goswami, this is retelling of the Bhagavatam, retelling of a discourse between Vidura and Maitreya Muni. Sutta Goswami is telling it to sages in the Naimisaranya forest. So, here Prabhupada notes that Sutta Goswami, uh, here is a discourse like it is a break. It has a break in between because Sutta Goswami comes to a place where actually it should be Vidura, uh, it should be Maitreya Uvata, but Maitreya Uvata will be in the next verse. So here Sutta Goswami comes and Sutta Goswami tells it to uh, various stages. While Sukadeva Goswami was speaking to Maharaj Pariksit, Sutta Goswami was only one member of the large audience. So this was when Sukadev Goswami was telling it to Maharaj Pariksit. That time, Sutta Goswami was one of the listeners among many thousands of great sages and Bodhisattvas. So he was listening this conversation between Maharaj Pariksit and but later on, that same message that he received from Sukadev Goswami, he delivered it to the sages of Naimisaranya forest. So this is how knowledge is received through oral reception, just hearing from one person to another. This is how the knowledge was given instead of reading books. There was like Shruti Pantha, hearing from one spiritual master to another in this way, going. Hmm. Sutta Goswami was only one member of a large audience, but Sutta Goswami was speaking to the sages of Naimisaranya, headed by the sage Saunaka, a descendant of Sukadeva Goswami. Saunaka Rishi happens to be the descendant of Sukadeva Goswami, and Saunaka Rishi is the one of the main rishi among many thousands of men who were listening to the Bhagavatam in Naimisaranya forest. So here Sutta Goswami speaks to the Saunaka Rishi and many other great sages. This, however, does not make any substantial difference in the topics under discussion. In any case, there is no difference whether Sutta Goswami comes into a scene or doesn't come to a scene, but the topic continues. It is a topic between Maharaj Parikshit and Sukadeva Goswami. But here Sutta Goswami is telling it to Saunaka Rishi and many other sages that that event was mentioned, but actually the actual conversation took place between Maitreya Muni and Vidura. Uh, Vidura asked his humble questions and Maitreya Muni explaining it to it. And again retelling by Sukadeva Goswami and Parikshit Maharaj, and again retelling by Sutta Goswami to Saunaka Rishi. Without three people repeating the same thing without changing a bit of it. Everything is. Text 4 Maitreya Uvacha विरिञ्चोऽपि तथा चक्रे दिव्यं वर्षशतं तप आत्मन्यात्मानमावेश्य यथा भगवानज. The greatly learned sage Maitreya said, O Vidura, Brahma thus engaged himself in penances for 100 celestial years, as advised by the personality of Godhead, and applied himself in devotional service to the Lord. So here the topic now Maitreya Muni is explaining this. He says Brahma went through penances for 100 celestial years. Because one day is our 1 year. So celestial years have very long time. So Brahma's 1 day is much longer. Brahma. So in his time Brahma went 100 celestial years. 100. 100 years he went for penances, as advised by the personality of Godhead, and applied himself in devotional service to the Lord. He did not create a progeny all of a sudden. After Lord instructed him how to do what to do, he went through 100 celestial years for penances and austerity. Such a long period of time one has to go through penances to fulfill the heart's desires. So, such a long time he went, and why he? Because that was also advised by the personality of God. The Lord also explained Brahma to go through penances and austerities before he can create. So that's why, obeying the Lord's order, Brahma went for penances and austerities for 100 years. That is 100 celestial years, 100 years of his own time, Brahma's time. And then he applied himself in devotional service of the Lord. When you go through penances and austerities, then that is a devotional service to the Lord. Because penance and austerities takes a lot of endeavor, mind control, and all those things. That's why he engaged in devotional service of the Lord. Suppose that Brahma engaged himself for the personality of Godhead, Narayana means that he engaged himself in the service of the Lord. So he started to serve the Lord by penances and austerities. He engaged himself for the personal, for the Supreme Lord purpose. To get mercy from the Supreme Lord, he applied himself for austerity and penances. That is the highest penance one can perform for any number of years. So this such a long period of time which is beyond our time calculation, such a long period of time he engaged himself in the service of the Lord. So that is the highest penance, the great austerity one can perform for such a long period of time. There is no retirement from such service which is eternal and ever encouraging. So, from the service of the Lord, we don't take retirement. We just continue our service life after life if we don't go back to Godhead. So here, Brahma engages himself in such a long 100 years of penances and austerities, and he never retired from devotional service of the Lord. Retirement is when you don't want to engage in some sort of activities. You could retire from work, but because of too much work and everything, or because of the old age, they cannot work anymore, so they retire from their work. But as for devotional service of the Lord, there is no retirement. Devotional service of the Lord is eternal, and it has to be continued no matter what happens. So that's what Brahma did, and he went through devotional service of the Lord for 100 years before he created any further. I'll repeat all of the three verses. Can I read some more? तदिलोक्याब्ज सम्भूतो वायुना यदधिष्ठित पद्मसंभश्च तत्कालकृतवीर्येण कंपितम्. Thereafter Brahma saw that both the lotus on which he was situated and the water on which the lotus was growing were trembling due to strong violent wind. So the wind started after the 100 years of penances and austerities. Brahma saw the Lord, and after seeing the Lord, he did not create progeny right away. He went to austerities and penances for 100 celestial years. And after 100 celestial years, what happened? He saw that lotus where he was situated and the water, devastation water, where the lotus is standing, when the lotus is standing on top of Lord Vishnu's navel, but there was devastation water, and which the lotus was going was trembling due to strong violent wind. So a great wind started to blow, and that wind kind of started to move the lotus. So if creation wants to take place, that's why various things are happening here. Because living entities within the body of Brahma and within the universe want to further progress in their endeavor. So that's why a wind, a strong wind started to blow and it started to move the lotus with a violent wind. But they were trembling. It was shaking. The wind was also shaking here and there. And it had a very big effect. Purport. The material world is called illusory. It's a forgetfulness of the transcendental service of the Lord. Mithya, Jagan Mithya. How the material world is compared, it is illusory. It is not fact, because this matter that we see, sometimes it is manifested, other time it is not manifested. So that's why it is called illusory, because it is a place of forgetfulness of the service of the Lord. So here, whenever we come in the material existence, we tend to forget the Supreme Lord. Unless we are placed in such a circumstances where we have to remember the Lord constantly, otherwise, material world is a place of forgetfulness. Thus, one engaged in the Lord devotional service in the material world may sometimes be very much disturbed by evacuate circumstances. So in the material world, sometimes devotional service devotees feel a lot of evacuate situations. A difficulty comes in the devotional service. So that's why Material world is a place where there are various difficulties always to perform devotional service. Sometimes we feel a lot of awkward situations. We want to do some devotional service, but there is a difficulty right ahead, and we cannot perform it, and we feel very much disturbed. And because of the awkward circumstances, there is a declaration of war between the two parties, the illusory energy and the devotee, and sometimes the weak devotee fall victim to the onslaught of the powerful illusory energy. So sometimes devotees fall down from the devotional service. Why? Because there are awkward situations that arises in life, and that makes uh, the devotional service break. Many devotees fall down from their devotional service. Sometimes they don't do any devotional service because of various circumstances that have arisen in their life. Why? Because this is a material world. Material world has many, many difficulties. Material world is full of difficulties. So that's why every time we have to be careful whether we fall down from devotional service or our devotional service is going on okay. But circumstances arise in such a way that when one is compelled to stop devotional service sometimes, but we should be careful not to break our devotional service. Weak devotees fall victim of the unserved powerful illusory energy. The illusory energy of the Lord is also very powerful. To think of the Lord 24 hours a day is not easy. It's always hard to think of the Supreme Lord all the time. Or to engage 24 hours in the devotional service of the Lord is also hard. Our body wants to rest and it wants comfortable situations, but comfortable situations doesn't arise. So that's why sometimes devotees have this break in the devotional service. Lord Brahma, however, was sufficiently strong by the causeless mercy of the Lord. So Brahma was given a causeless mercy without particular cause. The Lord gave him a special mercy so that he can continue his devotional service. So all these 100 years of penances and austerities, Brahma, when Brahma could continue his devotional service, and it did not disturb him. But at the end of these 100 years, he saw the lotus where he is situated is constantly uh, disturbed by the violent wind, and he could not be victimized by the material energy. So Lord Brahma was not disturbed by material energy, he was fixed in his devotional service. Although it gave him cause for anxiety when it managed to totter the existence of his position. Even a anxiety uh, because he saw the violent wind was disturbing the lotus where he was going to manifest the different living entities, but he was fixed in the devotional service. That's why Brahma is not so much disturbed, although it gave a little bit of anxiety in his mind. But a great wind blowing and it was disturbing Brahma's finances a little more. तपसा युध्यमानेन विद्यया तात्मसंस्थया विविध विज्ञान बलो नेपाद्वायुं सहम्बसा. Long penance and transcendental knowledge of self-realization had matured Brahma in practical knowledge, and thus he drank the wind completely along with the water. Hmm. So here is the power of Brahma we can see. Brahma can drink the entire devastation water and wind So such a long penance he went through, and with the knowledge of the self-realization, Brahma was a matured person at this point of life, and what he did, he drank all the wind completely, also with water also. Such a thing, devastation water and the violent wind was blowing and it was disturbing everything. But Brahma was so much, he performed so much penances and austerities that he could drink the entire water and entire wind system. Such is the power that Brahma acquired. How he acquired? By going through penances and austerities. That's why Lord asked Brahma to go through penances and austerities. Unless one goes through penances and austerities, he cannot do perform things like this. You know, to drink the whole water and to drink the whole wind is not possible for ordinary person. So only persons like Brahma can do it. There is an example like how when Mother Ganga was coming down, it was it was wiping the water was destroying many munis, ashram, hermitage and everything. Then one of the rishi called Janu Muni, he drank the entire water of Ganga within his body. So that's why, and later on when requested by the Rivu Muni, uh, one of the king who was bringing the Ganga in the Bhagirath, King Bhagirath, right? When he requested, oh, don't drink her completely, just release her, then again he released her from his needs. That's why it's called Janavi. Janavi Tatabani Jagamana Loba, we say. From the needs of the Janu Rishi, the Ganga was released again. So this is how we see how they have such a power to drink Ganga completely. Not possible for ordinary person. But the Janu Muni, by his austerity and penances, was able to drink the entire Ganga within his body. The same way, there are many instances where such things have happened. It's like here, we see very wonderful thing that Brahma is able to drink the entire devastation water and also its entire wind system. Such a wonderful power that one acquires when one engages in austerity and penances. Lord Brahma's struggle for existence is a personal example of the continued fight between the living entities in the material world and the illusory energy called Maya. So the wind was blowing and it was disturbing Brahma, but to exist to and it was going to disturb him because if the wind blows fast, then the lotus is shaking very hard, and then finally Brahma can fall off from the lotus and he can be drowned in the water. But Brahma is so powerful; he drank the entire water system and the entire uh, wind system. That's how he existed. His struggle for existence was disturbed. And this illusory energy always exists in this world. Beginning from Brahma down to this age, the living entities are struggling with the forces of material nature. It disturbs everybody. It disturbs Brahma and it disturbs us, whether we are a simple devotee or we are ordinary person or living entities like ants and roaches. No matter who it is, there is always a struggle for existence. So this struggle existence existed in persons like Brahma, who has a body made of pure intelligence. And but because of his austerity and penances, he was able to tolerate the difficulty, and he brought it to the level where wind can disturb no more, because he drank it within his body. By advanced knowledge in science and transcendental realization, one can try to control the material energy which works against our endeavors. Advanced knowledge, you know, knowledge, there are various divisions of knowledge are there, but the actual advancement of knowledge is spiritual knowledge. Also realization of spiritual knowledge. If we realize the actual spiritual knowledge, then we can control some of the material energy, some some sort of difficulty in the material energy while we struggle, we can tolerate it. It works against our endeavors. Whatever endeavor we are doing, it works against the endeavor. It doesn't favor the endeavor, but it works against the endeavor always. You achieve something opposite of what you desire. You desire one thing, but the material nature provides the opposite result. It's against the result. That's why one is not happy. And in the modern age, advanced material scientific knowledge and penance have played very wonderful roles in controlling the powers of the material energy. Scientific knowledge nowadays, people analyze the material element and they have created machineries and things. This computer science has created a lot of uh, material scientific progress, but this sort of progress is not going to make people happy. Penance have played very wonderful role in controlling the powers of the material energy. Such control of the material energy, however, can be most successfully carried out if one is a soul surrender onto the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So here Prabhupada indicates scientists should become a devotee of the Lord and they should then only they should carry out the uh, scientific progress. If we don't do this and engage in devotional service of the Lord, then such a thing will not be successful. To make it more successfully carried out, if one is fully surrendered soul, one has to surrender to the Supreme Lord full place. Then only some success is possible. Carries out his order in the spirit of loving transcendental service. So, if we carried out the scientific progress in a loving devotional way, then that has a meaning that will be successful. Otherwise, it will always be failure. Just like Brahma went through penances and austerities for 100 years, that's why he was able to drink the water and the wind. So, same way, to do any material progress here, one must go through a lot of penances and austerities before one can do some progress. So it's like scientists spend their entire life to create some sort of machinery and things to make life more easy. So that's the austerity and penances they go through, spending entire lifetime to create a machine that gives a little bit of comfort in life. So the same way, no matter which endeavor you do, unless it is directed toward the Supreme Lord for the benefit of all people, there is always some difficulty and it gives opposite results. And it gives a trouble just like Brahma is having a trouble uh, in his endeavor to create population. He was about to create a population, but then he sees that the wind disturbs him. It takes the lotus and it tries to disturb the Brahma. So he has to drink the wind completely so that there is no more disturbance. Also water. If there is water everywhere, how creation will take place? So creation cannot take place, so that's why he has to drink all the water so that he can spread living entities in the ground. So that's how he solved his problem created by the material energy. Okay. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. How Sutta Goswami is related to Sukadev? Yeah, Sutta Goswami was one of the audience when Maharaj Parikshit was listening Srimad Bhagavatam from Sukadev Goswami. Sutta Goswami was one of the audience. Later on, that same Sutta Goswami explains the Srimad Bhagavatam to rishis in Naimisaranya forest. So Vyasadeva, when he compiled this, he puts all the characters who were listening. But the beginning, the actual conversation took place between Vaidya and these. Yeah, just disciple. Sutta Goswami is a disciple of Sukadeva Goswami. He is a guru. At the beginning of the Bhagavatam also, Sutta Goswami praised to Sukadeva Goswami, telling how he was only a 16-year-old boy and he was just like God. And he explained this beautiful Bhagavatam. That's how he praised first, and then he